现在等一下。
游客您好，出口在左边。
那边没有什么吃的面，我到那边去过的。对。
300米后到达目的地。
拍了一张。你看他切上过来真的是大。
Let's get some rest. A big day ahead of us. Stage work like step. My child, don't make a sound. It's time to sleep now. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I gave it all to you. Gave it all to you. Heart like a rock, head like the sky. With cloudbursts of chemicals improving your life. My girl is a fortress so proud. She's not coming out. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. Give it all to you.
Şahane geçimcilik yaptı. Ha çorabı şimdi git ha. Şimdi unuttum ha. Rakamlar falan tamam. Можно? Можно. Здесь я вам приготовить чем пай. Да, 사람도.
那是我的酸的，对吗？
恭喜收卡，收卡10点，恭喜收卡2点。
啊，不知道忙吗？
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with fed away like bones, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow, can't touch the bottom, sit into a tumble. Waves that shake me out of my skin. Never been so easy, losing my direction. My bearings have me south of home. I've been wrong before. I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with fed away like bones, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow. hesitant. Now it seems oh so curious. How'd I wind up so far from home when I barely had left the shore? And I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with featherweight like bows, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow, and I was dreaming of the love I loved. I fell asleep within an autumn flow. I never knew I drew so far from home while I was waiting in the undertow.
尽快恢复马路交通正常通行，仅京东门游客入城